It is Monday, the 21st day of October, 2024, and I've managed to record 2 weeks in a row, so if I can get to a third, that's called a winning streak. Thanks, Lou. This could tailspin into a sports and what the hell did Dave do over the last week heavy episode, and for that, I apologize in advance. See, this is the downside to not really having enough knowledge about any single subject with which to hold an audience and not being at all interesting enough to hold an audience. So, I talk about the single least interesting topic on earth, which is me, and a topic that'll usually alienate most potential listeners, which is sports. Well, it is what it is. Those are the only two things I really know. So, if you have a shred of interest in either, stick around because it's going to get shitty. And I'll share some bad news for the Honda Fit Kliq. On episode 164 of Complaints and Observations.
Still, a voyage into the mundane and an exercise in futility. Swimming in the absurd while drowning in unearned self-importance. Entirely unworthy of your time. It is the world's worst podcast. This is Complaints and Observations with Dave LaPointe. Who the hell is Dave LaPointe?
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
Hey, how's it going? How are you? Good? Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, so, not entirely sure how to even begin this one. I didn't really take the time to do much of a show notes like I like to do. Type out the show notes, give myself a bit of an outline. 'Cause I can't just riff by myself. I like to think that I'm occasionally quick and witty. You can't really do that in a setting by yourself, though, right? And I can't write jokes. Not a joke writer. So So instead, I get to do this. But, hey, 2 weeks in a row, it's worked out nicely because I've had two consecutive Mondays off. I had today off, had to deal with something that needed to be dealt with. And so, I get started a little late, but I mean, it's basically, I tried to time it out so it was almost as if I had finished my work day and then I was getting, starting to do this, where I stopped what I was doing for work, got into the broadcast palace, cranked it up, and we're fucking rolling, right? Let's go. I don't know where we're going, but well, anyway, so yeah, as I mentioned, it's gonna be talking about me, what's going on with me. Why? Because I'm a horribly boring and uninteresting person, and I'm a dullard. That's such a great fucking word, by the way, dullard. It's not used enough. Um, but I had a fairly interesting week. It's the job is still literally kicking my fucking balls. Um, it's just getting to a less than sustainable place, right? As I said last week, I'm working way too much. I'm making way too little, and I just don't. All of my fucking time is just consumed with this job. Even when I'm not working, even when I'm off, quote unquote, like today. What did I do? I ran out here at 7:30 this morning, and fired up the laptop and had to sent some emails to people who were all pissy. And why did I do that? Because I was lying in bed, perseverating over thinking about shit that I can't even remember what I was thinking about, but I'm not even certain if it's like an actual client. I don't know if my brain was just making up a potential fucking awful client. But I mean, I was sitting there at 4:30 this morning. I've got my email open and I'm reading emails. I'm like, what are you doing? Honestly, what are you doing? So because of that, I ran out here at 7:30 in the morning, was answering emails. So fucking stupid. I mean, that's I shouldn't say that's part of the deal because I'm guessing some people don't handle the job the same way I do, but I don't know. I don't know. And I don't want to talk about it. Okay, that's it. Ah, done. The other thing is I attended my very first bar mitzvah. I've been waiting for this for 13 years since my buddy's son was born. Because he's born into a Jewish family, so obviously there's going to be a bar mitzvah, and I was very intrigued by the whole thing. Like the service itself was 2 hours long, though it didn't really feel 2 hours. But I just found it very interesting. I don't really care much for religion as a whole, as I've talked about here, because I think it stirs shit. It's the best thing about religion is that it stirs shit. And if it works for you, hey, terrific. But yeah, keep it under your hat. I don't fucking care. I don't care. And you shouldn't care that I don't care. Now, even though I don't care much for religion, I do find like the way that each individual religion does shit or handles shit, or I find that part to be interesting. So it was a learning experience. I liked that part of it. The party afterward, fascinating as well. The gift giving, fascinating, very very interesting. But I liked it. Like it was enjoyable. It was good to see friends. It was good to see my buddy, and it was good to see um, you know my buddy's family, which is great. So all in all, a good day. It was a good day. And then the Sunday, what did I do on Sunday? Oh, I worked. Uh, took 6 hours out of my weekend to do work, which yeah, whatever. But today after I took care of the things that I needed to take care of, was sitting around, had nothing to do. Jennifer was taking a nap, so I'm like, I'm not gonna. I gotta get up. I gotta do something. So I'm like, I'm gonna go run an errand or two. There was no gas in the Fit, so I'm like, let's go. Let's go. Get up. Got in the car. Um, drove to the gas station. Sitting at the gas station, fill up the tank. Notice there's a little something going on with, some of the window trim on the inside of the back seat. Open the door, fix that, whatever. And I had just made an appointment to have my oil changed, to get my yearly state inspection. I got like a tire pressure monitor thing that probably needs to be fixed. But I'm like, all right, I finished the first verbal faux pas of the show. Congratulations, Dave. Congratulations, listeners, for sticking around for almost 7 minutes before that shit happened. Anyway, so I finish up pumping the gasoline. I go making my way into the store, and I can see the reflection in the window of the store. There's a very large Jeep parked behind the Fit, and the woman gets out of the Jeep, but apparently she has not completed the whole, braking and parking portion of getting gasoline. And the Jeep rolls right into the back of the Fit. So for the now fourth time, the car has been rear-ended. 4 times. Wait, one, two, three, or maybe it was, yeah, it's been 4 times. 4 times I've been rear-ended. And then one time, somebody backed into the front end, which is a whole other fucking story. So this poor thing, and I'm trying. The good thing is, like, it wasn't that bad. There's just a giant dent in my, barely metal vehicle. But this thing is just taking a beating. It's 14 years old. Like, I'm really trying to get one more year out of it. Like, that's my goal. The last thing I want to do is have to try to afford to buy a fucking car when I'm making no goddamn money. So, and here's the other thing too. Like, when you're in an accident, all right, you have two choices. There's two different paths you can take. Okay, you can start fucking screaming bloody murder at the person who has smashed into you, right? Or you can just fucking play it cool and realize that they're called accidents for a reason. And I'm fairly certain that I've mentioned this before, because I'm also fairly certain that this has happened within the last 4 years. I don't really remember. But, so I'm like, I took it in stride. Okay. And so I go because I had to turn around and walk back after the destruction to my vehicle. And of course, she's got like this big fucking gigantic like trailer hitch or just like chain hook on the front end of her vehicle, and that kind of caused a bit of the damage into the hitch, the hatch, fuck, the hatch on the Fit. So I walked to the window. She's got a dog in the backseat, really cute dog. And I'm like, you okay? Everything good? And she like fucking starts breaking down. Okay. This poor thing, I felt awful because she's like, oh, I've got this. I'm dealing with a tenant, blah, blah. Like, there was stuff going on. And it was evident that this has now just made whatever was going on that much worse. So I'm like, what, I'm like, all right, it's fine. It's okay. No big deal. Like, this apparently happens all the time to my car, so let's not worry about it. But I don't know. And it's just it's one of these things that if I took the time, or if I just went in the other direction and was like flipping out, okay, I could have made this woman's day infinitely more difficult. And when I tell you, and look, I'm a sucker, so she could very well have just been lying to me, but I don't think so. I don't get that feeling. I like to think that I'm a reasonably decent judge of character, so I think that she was kind of telling the truth. Maybe there was some other stuff, some underlying sort of not telling the truth. I don't fucking know. But it was a whole sordid thing, and it was just, I felt bad, and I still do, because I think she's probably a bit stressed. Like, she wants me to go see like her friend who owns a body shop to get it looked. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go and just see if they can pop the fucking dent out of it, and just, you know, maybe in exchange for that, like, fix some of the fucking body rot that's growing on the car. But I mean, it's just one of these things that I don't know, and I do lack patience. But for shit like this, I mean, like, I don't know. I couldn't get all fucking bent out of shape over something this relatively minor. And the thing of it is, I know that there's a ton of people who would feel the exact opposite. Oh, you could probably sue her. You could make some money. Yeah, like, I am a lazy fucking individual. I do not have the patience, the time, the energy to go through with all of that. And so, it's not worth it. Think about that, dear listener. It's not worth it to get all fucking bent out of shape over such minor things. There are bigger problems in life than a dent in the hatch of your tiny beat up Honda Fit. Honda Fit Kliq for life. Let's go. After I got rear-ended for the fourth time. Well, I shouldn't say after. Like as I was getting rear-ended, I was walking into the Cumberland Farms to get a Celsius, and I am all wired at the moment. So get ready. I was just singing a song. I was gonna record it, and like, there's no music, David. Why would you do that? That's fucking stupid. Anywho, all right. West Ham and Tottenham on Saturday, bright and early, 7:30 a.m. I'm up. Like I had other shit to do. That was like the day of the bar mitzvah. We had to get there early, so I was up early anyway. Sitting there, first half, like what was it, 18, 19 minutes in, boom, goal, 1-0, Hammers. It's like, let's fucking go. Let's go. Smash these bums. Yeah, we're doing well for probably, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes, and then the floodgates opened. 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1 was your final score. Unorganized, undisciplined, no fucking structure whatsoever. It is frustrating that they made a ton of changes. They changed the manager who in reality needed a change, right? Was it the worst? Was he the worst manager ever? Like some people like to say? No. The guy was very, very much set in his ways. But you know what? They kind of won, right? Kind of, which is more than they had done since 1980. Kind of win. They won the Farmers League European Trophy, which, hey, it was awesome. I loved it. But I mean, in reality, you know, not the biggest deal. I think. I mean, look again. The whole point of that trophy is for teams that are lesser than the Champions League, which is now so bloated that it takes away from the value of the Champions League, if you ask me. But they got fucking smashed again. 2 wins on the season against 2 teams who haven't won a game yet. I'm all for giving the manager more time. I wasn't like thrilled with the appointment, but he dresses like I can't take a guy seriously when he's out there in fucking mom jeans. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, put on some like wear a tracksuit. That's fine. Like David Moyes used to wear a tracksuit. All right, whatever. Like an actual suit would be better, but okay, fine. You're not comfortable in it. But fucking mom jeans, and they're like stonewashed jeans. Like, buddy, it's brutal. So that's it. You get 3 minutes of soccer talk. You don't like it? Go fuck yourself. Now you get to listen to fucking American football. The Patriots were in London. The defense figured it'd be another good time to fucking lay down and die. Sure enough, they did it against a team that was sort of on their level. And it's amazing how watching on television myself and many others could see the gaping hole up the middle on every fucking defensive play. 2 down linemen a mile apart, a single linebacker a mile behind them. And then God knows what in the defensive backfield. When they ran the ball 19 fucking times in a row or whatever it was in the second half, yet they couldn't figure out that maybe you should make some adjustments. It's a personnel problem because the team stinks. But it was an instant 5 yards minimum for most of the second half for Jacksonville, which made no fucking sense. And look, Mayo's right. This team is soft as shit, but it starts at the top, the very, very top. At the same time, though, you can't blame Bob Kraft because he has little to do with the football itself, right? He has to take blame for the people that he chose to have something to do with football. Having a head coach who's not in charge of fucking anything is a terrible idea. Like there are so many coaches. They've got like 20 coaches, which is apparently like at least 7 more than they have had in the last 23 years. There are too many layers now with no actual top of the pile. Like if Mayo was in charge of everything that was going on the field, right? Not personnel, but just football. I think this would be different. Better? Probably not, but certainly different. At least there would be a single entity that you could point a finger at and be like, it's your fault. As opposed to having used all 10 fingers, and your toes to fucking point out problems. You've got a quarterback, great. But you've got very little elsewhere. Maybe a receiver and a half, maybe a running back. There's a corner and like half a safety. But that's it. You've got a bunch of guys hurt. Like, I'm sorry, but if Barmore was playing, if Bentley was playing, if Peppers was playing, if Judon didn't get traded, I don't know. Judon probably had to go regardless, so I'm not even going to count him. But if those other 3 guys were playing, I think it would have been slightly better. Mainly because like Barmore's gonna actually fucking clog up the middle a little bit better. Bentley would know what the fuck to do and to get other guys in place. Like you've got this Marte Mapu guy who is the ultimate tweener player. Like he's not fast enough to be a safety, not big enough to be a linebacker, yet he's playing both positions. Figure that out. But part of it is because they have so many guys hurt. So many guys hurt, so many guys out. One guy, one guy suspended, one guy with, like a near-death experience, and then another guy done for the year. So it's like, I don't know. Like I thought they'd get to 6 wins, but I think they'll be hard-pressed to get to 3 at this point. But there's a silver lining here, right? And as long as they don't fuck up this quarterback, like that is the only goal of this team this year. Don't fuck up the quarterback. It's 2 games. The kid looks legit. He looks legit, which is great. Okay, now don't fuck him up. That should be the only goal for the rest of the year. If you go 1-16, who fucking cares? Because anybody who thought that they were going to be anything better than maybe a 6-win team is beyond delusional. So all these media people getting all fucking pissy, be like, "Oh, it's your problem. It's his problem. It's his fault. It's their fault." What did you expect? Again, I mentioned this last week. Like, where are your expectations? They should have been woefully low. Woefully. And the only way, in my opinion, they can get lower is if the quarterback gets fucked up, or if the quarterback gets hurt, or if he starts to suck. I don't know. It's just so dumb. You know what else is dumb? The New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers stinks. He got asked post game last night after they got trounced by the Steelers, and Russell Wilson, who also stinks. And Aaron Rodgers comes out and he says, somebody asks him what they need to do better, and he says, "quote Stop listening to you guys first off," end quote. And it's like, what? What the fuck does the media have to do with your shit throws and your shit receivers, and your shit receivers? Like, that was poor Mike Tyson. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with it. Everything with this guy is someone else's fault. Literally everything. It's mind-blowing to me. Like, if somebody asks him a question, "Oh, is it because you're fucking 41 years old and a bit of a nut bar?" Like, you can't just keep throwing shit into a team and hope that it's okay. And I think it was like Damian Woody. I happened to watch like Get Up this morning, which was, oh, that's bad TV. But anyways, Damian Woody's like, this is not a team. You have a bunch of parts thrown together, and it's not a team. And they won't be because the head of your team is this fucking juvenile who can't accept any sort of responsibility for literally anything. I think I've said literally a dozen times today. The best part about Get Up, though, this morning was Rex Ryan says, "Where the hell's the pride at the New York Jets?" I'm like, dude, what? It's the New York Jets, buddy. When has there ever been pride? There's been no pride since Joe Namath left. That was the last time there was any sort of pride. Like your most famous, consistent, thing. I guess I don't even know what you'd call him, but like Fireman Ed. He's a guy that wears a fire hat and screams, yells at people to yell JETS. Ooh, Fireman Ed. I don't know you, sir. I'm sure you're a great fella, but good fucking lord. I have a feeling Fireman Ed thinks he's like a very important part of the New York Jets family. Yeah, maybe. Maybe you are, Ed. Maybe you are. If you don't listen to Clutch, do yourself a favor and listen to Clutch. They are terrific. And that's about all I have to say about that. Even that was what I was when I mentioned I was gonna like record myself singing like a fool. That's what was stuck in my head. Anyway, where was I here? So we're getting to the home stretch of the 2024 election season. Yay! Yay politics, right? Am I right? Everyone's favorite fucking subject. Where 3% of the people make all the noise and 97% of people just want them to fucking leave them alone. I can't have this come to an end soon enough because the commercials that I get here for the New Hampshire governor's race are literally all I fucking see. Yeah, I'm like more than 100 miles plus from Concord, New Hampshire, and somehow my eyes are worth the money. And look, I get spending money for ads out of Boston are going to happen because people in New Hampshire are mostly fucking stupid. No, no, that's not what that should have said. Dum dum. No, I get it. Like you're paying, for the people that live, or maybe they work in Boston, live in New. I don't know, but there needs to be better technology here. I am way too far away to give two fucking solitary shits about New Hampshire, mainly because I don't care too much about it to begin with. It's the quiet Texas. But if I have to see Kelly Ayotte or Joyce Craig after November 4th or 5th or whatever the fucking date is, it'll be too soon. And it was funny because last night, like, look, it makes me wonder how many people in Massachusetts know that Elizabeth Warren is up for re-election. How many people do you think know that? 10%, 15%, maybe? Because I'm willing to guess that most people don't know. And here's the troubling part, right? Her Republican candidate is not too bad. Big, big, big crypto guy, like huge crypto guy. And people are all worried. It's like, oh, is big crypto getting into it? It's like, no, that's not how crypto really. I mean, I suppose that's kind of how it would work, but I mean, aside from that, like he's a Massachusetts Republican. which I can get behind. I'm probably going to vote for the guy, mainly because Liz Warren, all right, we get it. Enough. Off you go. I don't know if I could do another 6 years of her. Holy fucking Christ. But, I saw a commercial for John Deaton. It was the first one I've seen, and this was yesterday. Yesterday. Like, how fucking bananas is that? That every other commercial for literally anything on my television that I'm paying Comcast to give me is a commercial for Kelly Ayotte or Joyce Craig. Joyce Craig, who apparently, if you ask the Republicans in New Hampshire, Joyce Craig just lets human shit all over the streets of Manchester. The commercials, but I mean, just some of these commercials. This go around, this election cycle, the commercials have just been fucking out of control. Out of control. Every single person running for office is the worst human in the history of humans if you go by these commercials. It's amazing to me. And it's even more amazing because I wonder how many people are sitting there go, oh my god, yeah. Oh, you mean she is all for late term abortions up to the age of 5? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't like that. Oh, you mean to tell me that they're going to make sure that billionaires don't pay a dime in tax? Well, we can't have that, can we? Oh, who does that? How are these working? And here's the problem, right? And this is the problem. The big problem is all this money in politics that has nothing to do, quote unquote, with the candidates, right? These political action committees are out of control. Needs to stop. And again, I think I'm repeating myself because I'm fairly certain I said this last week, or I said this in one of last week's prior iterations when I couldn't figure out how to use the goddamn fucking platform here. Out of control. Nobody fucking needs any of that shit. It's not necessary. Yet, we have millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars being pumped in. And look, the top 5, like political action committee donors, they're all on the right. Okay? That's just truth. Don't shoot the messenger. But I mean, they're paying big bucks to scare the shit out of old people into voting. That is the only fucking thing. And now you've got our boy Elon, who's like, "Oh, I'm going to pay people. I'm going to give away $1 million a day." Yeah, I don't think you can do that, Chuck. And here's the other thing too. I don't think it's legal. I'd be curious to see how this plays out. Yeah, he's another fucking dolt. God, he went from interesting to annoying real fast. Real fast. But God, I don't know. It can't end soon enough, and I'm fairly certain I've said this every other year for the last 25 years, 26 years, or whatever, or more than that. I don't know. How old am I? Jesus Christ. 28 years. That it's just annoying, And it's a game. It's a fucking giant game, and we're all pawns. But the vast majority of of the population doesn't seem to realize. I shouldn't say vast majority, but the majority. They don't get that. Neither side really gives a fuck about you. They don't. Don't pretend. Like, it makes your life worse when you think that way. But Joyce Craig, she lets people shit on the sidewalks in Manchester. Ah, she fucking sucks. Vote Kelly Ayotte. Yeah. Big smile. Here's my awkward family. Ha ha. Here comes John Sununu. John Sununu to wax poetic about Kelly Ayotte. The problem is poor Joyce Craig doesn't have enough money to keep up. Like, that's a given. Like, I'm fairly certain Kelly Ayotte's getting Coke money. Not Coca-Cola, but, Coke Bros. Koch bros money. So she has far better production value. And there's always like a river, some trees. There's always a big smile and a crossing of the arms. It's so fucking cheesy. Here comes John Sununu in his fucking North Face vest. Nope, sorry, his LL Bean vest to stand there and guffaw with Kelly Ayotte. What are they laughing at? Ah, the stupid fucking plebeians who are going to vote for me. look at look at Joyce Craig. Oh my god, I think she just shit on the sidewalk. What a fucking asshole. Oh, I hate all of it. I fucking hate it. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, sorry. Yeah, that whole thing. It's almost dinner time for me. You know, dinner time. Yeah. I am morbidly obese, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed or if I've mentioned this. Morbidly obese, and it's the byproduct of sitting on my ass for 12 hours a day. Oh man, it's brutal. Oh, just go to the gym. I fucking hate the gym. That's look. Fat people in the gym. That doesn't work, right? Because what happens is, we'll go, and then there'll be an inconvenience where we're not able to go, say 2-3 days, right? And then it just becomes sort of a self-destructive thing where you're thinking, oh yeah, I don't need to go today. I can go tomorrow, and then tomorrow just comes 6 months later. I'm paying for a gym membership. I haven't been in 2 months, 3 months. Man, it's funny because, when I started this podcast, it was during lockdown, COVID-19. And I had tons of time because I was unemployed. And I lost damn near 26 pounds, something like that. I was exercising, I was eating okay. Because I had plenty of time to like get out and move and do shit every day. Don't have that time. I do not have that luxury now because we live in a society that does not. I'm getting off track and I don't want to. I just really wanted to say that I'm fat. Just a subtle reminder, like as if you didn't know that already. All right, it is time for everyone's favorite part of the program. It is time for three gripes. Gripes. Fuck. See. Yeah. And here's the downside, right? Is I haven't even been like talking all day. Like if I had been talking all day, then this would be a legitimate excuse for those random vocal faux pas, if you will. But nope. Gripe number one: hospital televisions. I guess hospital televisions or wait, hold on. Hospital hospitality. There we go. Hospital waiting rooms are fucking awful. Okay, and I don't. This it's a known fact. It's not something that is new. Everyone has complained about it. Everyone has had to sit in these fucking miserable places. And I've always wondered why hospitals do not take more of a I don't know, like eh, eh, why don't they just make a better effort to make them more comfortable? Okay? And nobody's asking for luxury, okay? We don't want we're not looking for massage chairs. We're not looking for, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else. Really, what could you be looking for? You're in if you're at the hospital, okay, it's a miserable enough of an experience as it is. But then you compound that misery by making where you're sitting horribly uncomfortable. Just like the chairs are uncomfortable, the ambiance. The ambiance of a hospital waiting room is awful. The TVs, like, has there ever been a waiting room television that's even remotely functioning properly? Right? Is always a shitty picture, in a place that's like only sort of convenient, and then not even to mention like it's always on some random ass channel. How is there no like just decent connection? Like get basic cable and wire it to all these fucking waiting rooms. That few $100s a month or few $1,000s a month, is that really going to kill you? Dear hospital, no. Like healthcare in this country is scorching hot dog shit, yet still absurdly expensive all the way around. But apparently Comcast in a waiting room is too much to ask. Like if I'm gonna be forced to watch the whatever show is on after today, if that's the only programming option that I'm getting, I want to at least be able to see it, or like read the captions, or just it's not asking a lot. Make it a modicum of convenience and a modicum of comfort. Convenience is the wrong word there, but why? Just I don't understand why, and it's baffling to me. Ugh. Gripe number 2: school buses at railroad crossings. Now, we've all been there. Here's the thing, right? There's commonality with my random bitching and your general life experience. Okay? That's the value of this program. I finally found it. I've just come up with it. Amazing. My whining and complaining is your whining and complaining. It's just that I am better at sort of enunciating that. That's a fact. Anyways, school buses at railroad crossings. Stopping in front of the tracks to open the fucking door. What? What? And I had to do a little research on this one, okay? Here's your research for the week. So, I mean, the whole idea is that they get close to the track, so close to like the crossing line. So basically, where the railroad arm, there's a term for it, but I don't know what it is, and I'm calling it an arm. If it's wrong, fuck yourself. You get sort of close to where that would come down, and then they open the door, and there's supposed to listen. How how is that like a serious safety procedure? You've got anywhere from unless you only have one asshole child in the bus, anything more than that, you're not going to be able to hear the fucking thing coming. You should be able to hear the horns anyway, but you probably don't because you may have 30 screaming 8-year-olds in that bus. We've all ridden a bus as a child, all of us. We know how loud it can get in the bus. There was always that one asshole bus driver that like yelled at the fucking kids to shut up. And even that bus driver is not going to be able to fucking hear the bus coming. So apparently, this has been a law in all 50 states and even 48 states. That's how old this fucking law is. There was a bus accident in 1938 in Utah, of all places, and like 27 people died. Tragic. Tragedy. But apparently, the only way to combat it was to create bottleneck fucking traffic in places that it's not even a bottleneck, David. God damn it, you're an idiot. Traffic in general. That was the solution. Let's fucking create traffic where there shouldn't. Knocking over the mic. Where there shouldn't be traffic. And it happens all the time. Why? Because these fucking things have to stop. The asshole has to open the door, and they have to listen closely. It's like, ooh, is that a train coming? Quiet down, you fuck. Is that a train coming? Nope. Okay, close the bus. Off you go. Meanwhile, there's fucking 40 cars behind you. Because you know when you're doing that? Usually at rush hour in the morning when people are trying to get places. 90 years ago, basically, is when this fucking thing happened. And now millions of people have been inconvenienced by the traffic this bullshit causes. I did a Google search. I'm like, all right, there has to be more than just that one. And I think I came up with about 4. And the research that I did basically tells me that it was because of either faulty equipment or shitty drivers. So instead of investing in the quality of driver or the quality of equipment, they're going to inconvenience the rest of us. Oh, it's so stupid. Like, even for me, that is petty. Oh my God. But as I'm doing this Google search, right, what comes up? There's a story from like 2 weeks ago in Columbus, Ohio, where a bus stops at a track and essentially you can see in the video the arm that comes down is on top of the bus. And I'm thinking, you know what probably stopped the driver? It was probably the fucking arm hitting the bus. In the video, the news story from Columbus TV, TV 10, Columbus, Ohio. Wish I could remember the girl's name because it was fucking stupid. News people. Oh, man. Like, it's just so bad. Maybe I'll add that. Maybe I'll talk about that next week because I had an experience with local news a few months back. I should probably talk about that because it's funny. Anyways, but like so, TV 10 Columbus has a video they've obtained from a person who was there on scene, and it's a guy going, "Woo! Don't park on the tracks!" And then it cuts to the dainty blonde woman with a non-regional dialect talking about the incident. And it's like, man, that had nothing to do with stopping and creating a traffic. And the first person I interview, it's like, oh, this is such and such from so and so. She was sitting 8 cars behind. Like 8 cars. You want to know why? Because that stupid bullshit clogged up the street. Because this idiot bus driver couldn't figure out, hey, those are train tracks. Maybe I should hover back a bit instead of plowing through and then stopping right in front of the fucking tracks. That should be the rule or the law. Hey, you can't get right to the tracks. And then open your door. Like if you're that concerned with how this equipment may or may not work, don't fucking go right on the tracks. See what is going on here today? I'm being punished for being so horribly petty with that one. Man. Anyways, gripe number 3. Mustaches. All right, we get it. Enough already. So that'll do it for the show. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. If you have stuck around for this long, I am happy to report that the show will now be up on YouTube podcast, not the video, because Google Podcasts no longer exists. So I had to go through some hoops. I had to jump through some hoops to get the show up on YouTube. So it's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on Good Pods, I think. It's on the website, complaintsandobservations.com. It's on, I think it's on Apple, Not 100% sure. And, some other stuff. But, Uh, so yeah, I still don't have a voicemail line yet. We'll see how that goes. I still have some old voicemails here that I might pull. Um, but the last one is from May of last year from our dear friend Donnie. Um, I don't know. We'll see. That's a good way to talk, huh? That's like rule number one of podcasting. Don't say That was enjoyable, huh? But listen, anyways, thanks. Please tell your friends. Trying to get to 10 new subscriptions on all of my various platforms. It seems as if Spotify, unfortunately, is going to be like the main one. So, you know, fuck, it just did it again. So tell your friends to listen to, but make sure they subscribe, like, follow, tell your friends, tell your moms, do all that fun shit. And we'll talk again, right? Hopefully, I can get this up next week too, and we'll be rolling, cranking. That's me snapping my fingers, cranking, rolling. I'm wired. Anyways, that's it. Fuck. Go to Instagram, at Complaints Pod. I'm on Twitter, at Complaints Pod. I am on Facebook, but I haven't figured out how to get back to that yet for some reason. So we'll see how that plays. And that'll do. Listen, so take care of yourself, take care of each other. Godspeed. Ta ta.